And hello and welcome everybody to my channels on Twitch TV and YouTube. My name is Forzion and today I am back with another stream, and this time it is not Hermania. It's not my standard play because I was waiting for the hotfix regarding the power connections and it is out, so I hope you can continue build up your republics. So but I have a different idea today. As I was discussing on Steam about how the customs houses are a problem for Cosmonaut Challenge or realistic mode. So I decided to create an initial setup and I want to test how long it really takes to build the basic stuff you need to continue construction, and how much would it cost, of course. So here I am at the large customs house because people are complaining mainly about that. I have the normal blocking movement enabled on this save. I have the latest part, and I placed a vanilla asphalt plant, vanilla concrete plant with vanilla aggregate storage, an engine, a cargo station, a storage, and a fire station with a heliport to be built. So we also have one distribution office which we now can set up, and it will work to load fuel. We have then we have to get gravel there, and bricks, steel, prefabs and boards, and fuel, of course, and we are going to set the target. So this is an open storage. We are going to bring basic resources for construction there, basic resources for construction there, because people were complaining about how long does that take. You don't want now let's go back to the idea of using the customs house as source for construction offices. So we can run that. Now let's set up this as source, but we are going to... Oh, that was a mistake. Gravel is there, prefabs, boards, bricks and steel are there. So let's do that, and that, and that. So we have few construction offices here. We are going to stop this construction here, and this construction, and this construction, so nobody is going to construct anything. And then we need to bring fuel there, so that's another one to deal with. And now just need to set up these few construction offices. That, and then and we are going to deliver only by trucks, deliver only by trucks. And so what I want to prove, or what I want to test, is that it is really not that difficult to start in Cosmonaut, and the idea of allowing customs to be the source for construction offices was to allow people to build the initial setup, not to use customs as long-term source for their construction offices. So what I am going to do is I'm going to upgrade these roads. And we are going to build them. So what I have done, I set up a distribution office which will bring basic resources into free storages. Because of that you have these free storages. There is an aggregate free storage and an open free storage. So now we have one dumper going to the border, bringing gravel into the storage. And none of the construction office vehicles has to go to the customs house to pick up gravel there. They can simply go and pick up gravel at that storage. Of course we are a little bit slower when loading there, but that's really not the main problem here. And we started in March with fuel consumption, power consumption on, and now I want to see how long will it take for us to build the initial setup, which means a storage, a warehouse which can serve as source for food, for mechanical components, electronic components, clothes. We have this distribution office right next to that, and then asphalt and concrete plant. And I am using the vanilla ones, but anybody who has mods, he can use the cheaper ones. And I read in the discussion that you cannot do that before winter hits. So I am curious if we can get this setup up and running before the winter hits. So we are in March. I think we are not going to speed things up, or are we? Yeah, we can, because we need those roads, so we can speed things up. It's a test. It's not my normal gameplay. So we are going to manage the road construction step by step. First, upgrade to gravel. We are not going to upgrade to asphalt. At least we cannot do that for these pieces right next to the customs house, because it will not work. And we are using only 2 buses, several dumpers. The vehicles for the construction cost us about 100,000 of the initial budget. We have on hard money. So we already have the power line built. Almost, yes, some. And one thing I am missing is that we don't have any road crane. We can adjust that, so we buy a road crane. Because we can use that. So we have some gravel in our storage, not that much. But it is because we are immediately using all the gravel we have, and we have only one truck delivering gravel into that storage. Oh, 8 will. And look at that customs house, we still don't have any long queues there. But of course, it would be more beneficial to use to distribution offices. or dedicated one to bring more gravel there, because right now we have only one dumper moving the gravel to our storage, so it is not the most efficient. And by the way, I would recommend you at the beginning to build that one little piece of road to the first crossing by using money, because it would cause you all kinds of problems. Here we have a large customs which has 3 entrances, so we can bypass the problems thanks to that. But really, in a normal playthrough you may face quite a bit of troubles with that. And we cannot upgrade this piece of road into asphalt, because if we use the customs house as source, vehicles cannot make it to that, as the exit is right at the entrance of the construction site, and it just cannot be dealt with in the code, because there is no way where they have to travel. So we are in April. We've got a couple of roads. We have basic resources here which we don't really need, so mostly we are a little bit behind because of having only one vehicle going there. But what I think we may do is, we can keep that. I will go a little bit, because I want to show it doesn't take that long as somebody would imagine. And it also gives me some feel of how it is when you start to build up an initial setup. And these free storages are here for a reason. If you don't need them, why would the developer give you those at the beginning? If you just will use the customs house as a source, why would you need those storages then? Why would he bother with that? To add those storages to you. He did not add a warehouse, of course, because that's a different story. You need some resources to get that done. We can have a list of our vehicles. We are currently utilizing 5, 10, about 20 vehicles at the beginning. And we did not encounter any extensive queues at the customs hall. I am just using auto build right now. Just to see how it works. I think we don't even... That bus stop though. I would use instead a normal bus stop in this case, because why not? We need technically some roads have to be upgraded to asphalt. But let's do this step by step. We're at the end of April and we have the power connected. And we are going to use foreign workers for fire station, so we are not caring about heating in this case. They can freeze to death. We are paying a lot of money for them. They are not our own workers, so they should come prepared, well clothed, expecting some sub-zero temperatures during winter. And I'm adding the helicopter to And I would be able to use the customs house for as gravel source right now, and it would not make that much difference. And we need to upgrade a couple of roads to asphalt, because if we will produce asphalt here in the asphalt plant, it is better to have the roads which lead to that asphalted, and it will, because we would not be able to upgrade them later, as we need the access to be available. So what I think is about the Cosmonaut challenge, the realistic mode, is that it was meant to be difficult. It was never meant to be the same difficulty as when you are using auto build and auto purchase. But as it was released, maybe people forgot about that. And when the developer allowed you or anybody to use customs house as source, they just forgot about that it is allowed to be as a source to be able to build the initial setup without using auto build and auto purchase. It's not to be there for allowing to use players the customs house as main source for everything they want. It was not meant to have a throughput of a normal construction material producing facility, because that is an option you have at the customs house, that you can use it as source. But that option is there not to remove the need to build the construction material producing facilities. It is there to allow people to start without the need of auto build and without the need of auto purchase. And build that too then. And of course we can argue all day long about that. But I think that the Cosmonaut challenge is a challenge for a reason. It is not meant to be easy. It is not meant to be without bumps, and it is not meant to be a task easily accomplishable for majority of players, because you need proper experience in the game to take the challenge. So in this case, I think we would be able to way more optimal if I would use more than one covered haul truck for distribution in these. But still, we can live with that. It's not tragic at all. Maybe it will be good that we are building this slower, and we will see how long will it take to build it up. It is a high priority. Just to get the workers there. And I don't even try to be super optimal here and min-max everything. I'm pretty sure there are talented people who can do it much better than I can, but I did not take the time to deal with all the things. I just going to do it for test purposes here. And we will also see how much would that cost to build. And I think if we would even use the construction, the customs houses source for gravel here, it would not be that much a problem. So we can do that. Oh, now until we pile up some more gravel. This piece of road here now. We are going to upgrade that piece of road to asphalt. High priority to bring workers there. I did not crash. That's nice. So we are in June. We have most of the roads gravel now. And I still don't experience any extensive queues at the customs house. We can sell back that storage. We have accumulated 60 tons of gravel there, so it will be enough for a while. Now we can upgrade this, this and this to asphalt. Give that the high priority here. And the high priority and the high priority. Because we need workers at that. Even though we have some mechanisms which will do the job. I would upgrade that too. No, it didn't. I just want to test how long does it take to build the initial setup, which is one fire station, one asphalt plant, one concrete plant with some storages, which you can use for further construction. Nothing else. After we finish the task, I can take a break and we can go back to New Hermania because there was the hotfix already for the broken power connections released, so we can easily play further and continue. Of course, I had to remind the developer about that problem because he overlooked it, and he was surprised a little bit by that. But fortunately, he had time to work and release the hotfix on Saturday afternoon. No, I don't have. I'm going very basic. We can add it later without issues because we have this conveyor belt there. If I would like to have that, where is the truck aggregate loading? It can be added like here if necessary, but I don't think it's necessary. We can simply load in the storage. It's imported gravel, of course. And that storage serves mainly to provide gravel for the concrete and asphalt plant. So we are going to give this the high priority after that road is finished, so we will get the asphalt plant. I am really trying just to build a very basic setup, the minimal cost in vanilla, no mods used. And now as we built up some buffer, we can use that as source right now. Yeah, but if somebody wants to do that, he can. It's not a problem. I just want to see how long does it take to build the initial setup. If you go for the bare minimum. And you can add that later, because it's not that you need to have that for the beginning, of course. And we give this the high priority, this the high priority, this the high priority, this the high priority. And now we can start constructing these. And that can be built too, it can have the medium priority. This is going to be constructed, and this is going to be constructed. But still. The warehouse is for mechanical components, electronic components, food, clothes and electronics. Because of that we have the road cargo station nearby. We have a free distribution office here, which will go to the customs house and bring in those resources into the warehouse. And then you can have the trucks which will supply shopping centers from the road cargo station. And I want to see how much would that cost to build all that. And the outcome is that you don't need that many trucks to go to the customs house, so you will not have that extensive queues there. Don't have... Yes, we have the free open storage here. I have one truck in distribution office to supply that with basic resources, and the construction offices take resources from there, so they don't need to drive for tiny amounts to the customs house and clog it up. And this is not a workaround, but it's a strategy how you can build up. And we are building slowly. Somehow they are neglecting this. But they want the fire station first. That's fine. Are you bringing bricks? Yes, but we need a lot of bricks here. And of course I could use 2 distribution offices instead of 1 to speed things up. If we upgrade that road flow, we may get that distribution office into use. And that's the problem, what you mentioned, that those trucks go there for increments of their own load capacity, and then they clog up the customs house. I don't say that free storage is faster to load, but why do we have the free storages if we don't need them? So we can get another open hall, and I had that there to be used in this. So we set that as a source. So rigs, that, steel, and that, and going to unload that there for 50%. And here we get another dumper. Do we need a dumper there? Don't think so. And I would be able to use the non-block customs in this case, but I decided to use the block customs here just to see how long will it take. Guys, but you have these as... Yeah, you have, but I didn't assign that. Of course, I didn't. My bad. So we can get one more concrete mixer. So why not? We now have the room. Oh, and we have a queue at the customs. 4 trucks waiting. Get another dumper. So end of July. Can we finish that before the winter hits? And again, I want to emphasize, I am not trying to min-max everything and going the super optimal way. That will help. That will help. Because why would they not move on their own? It's not that far. So we are 1 hour of playtime right now. At the beginning of August. That's the other aspect of this, that we can check how long it takes in real life to build up the initial setup. One thing is in-game time, and another thing is your real life time. I'll set up a line. What do you mean it includes planning? I spent maybe half an hour to place all these buildings, all the blueprints. So we are now playing like 1.5 hours building the initial setup. And of course I sped things up. But I'm doing the test for people who just want to do it fast. Of course we don't have that much foreign workers available. And we are coming to the end of August. So right now our bottleneck is how many workers can we get. Yeah, I can, but I just don't try that. That adding more cranes is player dependent. It's not game dependent. It's about how you manage things. Higher priority. Yeah, that helps. But right now I don't have any free spaces in my construction offices. I would need to upgrade that row there first. If I upgrade that road, then I can get more cranes. Into this, no, into that, not into that. There is one crane. Yeah, we can get then 2 more cranes. And we built that road. Oh. So we are in September. Give it a high priority to bring some workers there, because you cannot build that piece without workers. And throughout the time we seen a queue of vehicles for quite a little bit only at the customs house. And we now have 98 tons of gravel accumulated there. And we can now move you and you into that. And you into that. And we will set that as a source, that as a source, that as a source. And we will add those into the list. And we can add 2 more cranes, because why not? I will use road cranes, because you don't need to transport them. Still, winter is 2 months away. We don't need any crops, any chemicals right now, any fabric. And we don't need any plastics there. No. So we can use like 10% of alcohol. 10% of that. 15% of electronics. 5% of that. 5% of that. 25. 35, 45, 55, but let's say we use that, 3, and now we set up that. Because you need chemicals for water treatment, you need food, alcohol, electronic components, that. You can go to 50 and now we start to stockpile all that. So we started at 18 September, so let's see how long will it take for that one vehicle to fill that storage. And of course again I would be able to use a different distribution office here. I'm just using the free one. So we have 1 hour 15 minutes about. I don't really mind having customs as source for concrete right now. But I will build a concrete plant and that will be the ultimate goal. Oh, we have the asphalt plant. Wow. So bitumen. Bitumen there. So we are now asphalt independent. Hey, we have a queue at the border. Look at that. Why do we have that? Because we did not switch the asphalt before. How did you get the gravel? Huh? How? Yeah, because I said that. Okay. Right. You got the gravel. Okay, understood. So now we have all the basic resources, which we are going to change. Asphalt plant. It's asphalt plant. Ah, but we need to. Let's go step by step. Yeah, you need to do some micromanaging. You have to play the game. You have to play the game. There will nobody play the game instead of you. You know, it's meant that you have to play. We get the gravel there, and now we set that as a task for the distribution office to unload the gravel there. You're done with that, and we are going to buy that. I will change the color, and then we need a fire engine like that. And there is water time. Now it's on color. So 10th October. Oh, we have a queue again. Don't have them. Don't need them right now. I can build them anytime. And put them there like this. Crash. Did not crash. Unexpected. Don't need to give anything for foreign workers. They are expensive enough. My idea for this test was just to test how long it will take to build everything. And how much would that cost? That's high priority for workers. The main problem with foreign workers is that if you supply them with stuff, then you raise the cost of workday even more. And they are expensive enough. And if they are unhappy about the conditions, then what? Actually, the length of shift for home workers is longer than the length of shift for foreign workers, so I would not bother with that. Because how long they work is dependent on their happiness. What are we missing here? So we have April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 8 months. Yeah, and we are done. We don't have water there. I did not expect that. How much does that require? $85 cubic meters of water. So we can go in the middle one. So we can live without the concrete plant technically. Yeah. But what we are, and we can make the conclusion here. We don't need a concrete plant in initial setup. We only need the asphalt plant. If we want to build asphalt roads. We don't need asphalt plant if we don't want to build asphalt roads. Because then we don't need that much asphalt. So let's conclude that and build all these. That's not the best placement. We are going to remove that. So, can you build up the initial setup with in half a year? I think you can. Is that the problem that you need to get? You need to wait 6 to 8 months to build all that? Don't think so. So, because is that the problem that you need to plan a lot in the game? Is that the problem that you need to micromanage a lot in the game? Is that a problem that you need to wait a lot in the game? And we can ask many other questions. So is that a problem that it takes 2 hours to build the initial setup in a realistic mode, which is a cosmonaut challenge, which is meant to be difficult, which is meant to be slow? Is it a problem that it costs $500,000 to build the initial setup? Because right now we have most of the infrastructure done. And everything besides this is going to would be residentials and industries which would make money. So whatever I would decide to build next from here, but let's wait until we have all that water source, all that, so it's $500,000. And we can see how much it cost us. It cost us almost 200,000 rubles in vehicles, which means that less than 300,000 in buildings and infrastructure. And if I would now do disable to realistic mode, just for the sake of showing what would that cost us to build a small heating plant. Would cost us to build 20,000. Power plant would cost us to build to flatten the terrain I want to would cost us to build 250,000. So we have $500,000 to create an industry that would be profitable. If I would go for the gas power plant, that would cost us 180,000. If I would go for something like clothing factory, that would cost us 40,000. So we have $500,000. Then if we would build some residential, for example, this one would cost us 15,000, a shopping center 50,000. If we would give them some cinema, that would cost 30,000. If we go for a police station, that costs 30. A hospital would cost 30. So we have still $500,000 without taking any loan to get some profitable industry residential areas. So is that bad? Is that broken? Because we were able to build all the initial infrastructure without issues. It took, let's say, 2 hours of our real lifetime. It took some planning. It took some investment, but from now on We can build most of the stuff relatively cheap. Yeah, that's what the player has to do. Those are decisions. Not the developer has to do, but the one who is planning his own republic has to do. But you don't really need a concrete plan because you don't need that much concrete that it would not be profitable. Or not profitable. That you would not be able to use that customs house as source for that. And people tend not to use asphalt at the beginning. If they do only with gravel roads, you don't even need the asphalt plant. You can easily live without asphalt plant and concrete plant at the beginning. But these two storages, the aggregate storage and free open storage, are essential. So there are a couple of questions and everybody needs to answer them on their own. If that is really that bad, if you need to build... you don't even need. The only thing you need is that storage. And the fire station at the beginning. And the bus stop. Everything else is free. So here we have that. Do you need anything else? At the beginning. Anything else? Did we have any problems with the customs throughput that would limit us so much? I don't think so. So the main thing is just to bring gravel to an external storage. And 2 dumpers can fill it up and the construction officers then can deal with the rest. Then you build a warehouse and supply it, and all the distribution officers distributing your residentials can deal with that. And you don't need to clog up your customs house. And I will end it here. I will take a break, make myself something to eat, and then I will come back later with another stream. Hopefully this will help somebody to understand that we are not limited with the throughput of that customs house that much. Only if you try to abuse that and use only that, nothing else, then you are. So for now, see you and have a nice rest of the weekend if we don't see each other. Until then, next stream, bye and see you.